Double Fries No Slaw. What is this? Wednesday night, October 29th. Richie, Halloween week. Do you care about Halloween at all?
No, we haven't had a trick or treater. I get so mad because every freaking year since since COVID, we haven't had a single trick or treater, and I buy full size Reese's candies to hand
You still
out.
buy them? How many years in
Yeah,
a row have you bought them?
well, I end up eating
You're
them.
just buying them for yourself now.
I
Why are you
throw them
mad?
in the freezer. I throw them in the freezer. So yeah, no, I don't. I know it's different with you when since you have kids, but with us with no kids, we don't really do Halloween. We watch Halloween movies, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stressful with kids, but it is fun. Like, they enjoy it. They look forward to it. I took it. They were okay. Nobody tuned in to hear this, but it's also a 4 straight loss team. So whatever, you're here for the good and the bad at this point. Although maybe 2 people do want us to get to football, because I got a text and we weren't here right at 7. Like, where the heck are you? Surprise, surprise, not on time. You know what you signed up for if you're watching the show at this point. Like, that's all I have to say about that. The kids were bad last week, so I took away trick or treating. I mean, knowing they would earn it back, but
Yeah.
like, hey, you got to be good this week if you want to earn it back. I mean, there's no chance that they weren't going to get it. But anyway, it is fun. It is cute with them doing that. So Wednesday night preview night for Wake Forest. Hopefully things aren't too spooky on November 1st, the day after Halloween, for Florida State against Wake Forest. If you're heading out to trick or treat and you need a dinner in Tallahassee, go by Guthrie's and get you a gut box double fries no slaw. 1818 West Tennessee, 2550 North Monroe, and 2870 Appalachian Parkway. So really, wherever you're at in Tallahassee, there's one within like 10 minutes of you. So go get you some Guthrie's. And if you're trying to lay off the candy, go get some fried chicken. I don't know what to tell you. I will try to abstain from the candy on Friday night for what it's worth. I won't do a great job. So you like Reese's, but like, do you have any other? All right, we'll talk about football after this, but do you have any other like candy weaknesses here?
So this is going to tip me back, and for those of you that are around my age in the mid to late 30s, Warheads, man, I used to love getting.
Gosh,
I get like the pain at the start, and then like the sweet. It was the original sweet and sour. If you're like in the Sour Patch Kids, that and Jolly Ranchers, love Jolly Ranchers.
I love Sour Patch Kids. I do like the watermelon one. Somebody told me the other day their favorite's the watermelon. I like the Nerds gummy clusters. That's probably my favorite candy that exists right now. Like, me and Mike Leach are in full agreement on that one. Rest in peace to the pirate. But those are my favorite. As far as chocolate goes, I'm a big Kit Kat fan. Although, so a friend was telling me about the white chocolate Reese's, the pumpkins. And so I was in Wawa today and I saw some of those. And then right on top of that, they had Oreos with Reese's. And I was that seems like, so I'm a big Oreo fan. Anything cookies and cream. I recently had cookies and cream, ice cream, Oreos, just all that stuff. So the Reese's with the Oreos looked like they were intriguing. So anyway, all right, that's all the candy talk I have for the night. So Florida State and Wake Forest. Hey, before we get to talking about the game, I sent you an article. And listen, we'll try and be nice on this, but we're going to talk about things that are FSU related. And so for those that haven't seen, Brendan Sonono, Knowles 24/7, posted an article where he did a records request and got some emails that had gone back and forth from boosters to Michael Alford, Florida State's AD, and Richie, just this one quote. I mean, all of it was just very fluff, very whatever. There was a quote in it where he was like kind of justifying what was going on. And of course he's going to like be pretty positive, and you're talking to the big donors and thank you for your support and all this stuff. He said the narrow margins in our losses and the quality of our wins speaks volume about the direction that we're heading. And I didn't really care about anything else in the article, but that stuck out to me as just like, does anyone at Florida, I mean, and maybe there's just no right answer. There's nothing that could actually pacify me as a fan right now. But it makes me wonder if anybody at Florida State knows what the hell's going on. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I love FSU. I'm wearing another FSU shirt right now. You are too. We're still doing a show after 4 straight losses, but like, what the heck are we doing here, man? Like, not me and you, but just as an organization.
Yeah, and that's I guess the frustrating part is that you don't know who that email was sent to. Thank
From find
goodness
out.
for FOIA request, right? So we can get emails like this, but it just tells me that we're not being serious right now. If we were to lose to Wake Forest by 20 points on Saturday, and I don't think we will, but if that were to happen, Mike Norvell would still be the head coach come Sunday morning and Monday morning and into the following week. Like,
Yeah.
that's just what it tells me. When you're 5-15 in your last 20 games, and you're what should be the hottest seat in the country right now, seems to be lukewarm at best. That's a problem, and I think it starts at the top. And look, I'm not going to bash the man, because Michael Alford has been phenomenal to both you and I. He's been on our show multiple times. I really like him individually, but if that's his true thoughts, and he is willing to just wait this thing out, beyond and beyond, I have a problem with that, and I think his job should be looked at as well. And it sucks when you have to say something like that about someone who has been so good to you. He got me on the field before a game last or in 2023, and I got to meet Jameis Winston, and that's when he was with the Saints, and Lindsey, who's from New Orleans, got to meet him. Like, he's done a lot of things for us that he didn't have to do. But I need to see actual action at this point.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't have a problem with any of these people personally. I just want to win games.
No.
That's all I want. I don't care if you bring in the scum of the earth, Brian Kelly and Urban Meyer, to coach this team. If they win games, I'm good with it. And I don't care if you bring in a pastor like Bobby Bowden to win games. I'm good with that too. I just want to win at the end of the day. And I'll take my moral advice from people that aren't football coaches, right? Like, so it doesn't matter to me, like, how good or how bad of a person we just, so yeah, I don't have a problem with any of these people personally. I just want to win football games, and I want people that take football seriously to be in charge. You look at LSU, you look at
Penn State,
Florida, Penn State. It feels like those even like, I hate to admit it, even Miami, they went out and pulled a coach from Phil Knight. And I know he played there. I know he's from I get it. But it sucks it feels like we don't take it seriously. And maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe we'll see in a few weeks. Maybe we'll lose to Wake and we'll take it seriously after that. But yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I don't know that. Let me see a comment about settling for mediocrity. Yeah. I mean, excited about gives me confidence in the direction this thing is headed. Brother, I ain't got no confidence in the direction this thing is headed. I don't know what. I had confidence a month ago before we played Virginia. And I still had some confidence before we played Miami. And I even had a little bit of confidence before we played Pitt. Like, I know we were all kind of down, but man, I don't know how after the last 4 anybody has confidence in anything that's going on. So yeah, settling for mediocrity. It's pretty straight. It's pretty spot on. And so we'll see what they do. All right. Do you have, I didn't ask you to do it, but did you grab stats for Wake? Let's talk about Wake a little bit. Then I want to talk a little big picture, and then we'll do sleeper, and we'll try not to be on here too long tonight.
Yeah, I got a couple things. So just going through their schedule real quick. These scores are just mind boggling. The, direction of either way they go. But they opened the season against Kennesaw State, won 10-9 against Kennesaw State.
Insane. I watched that on Friday night in Tallahassee before Bama.
Then they went on to beat Western Carolina 42-10, easy win. Lost to a not very good North Carolina State team. Sorry, Hunter, if you're in here right now, 34-24. Then lost to a really good Georgia Tech team by 1 in overtime. Beat Virginia Tech. They blew out Oregon State 39-14. And last week, in just a really ugly game, they beat SMU 13-12. It seems they cannot decide on a quarterback, TJ. Like, they have 2 quarterbacks that they've been kind of using. It looks like Purdy's the one that they're kind of leaning on right now.
The one that was banged up a little bit too. Deshaun Purdy. I think he's been banged up some.
Yeah, and then just looking at the stats, their leading rusher is Demond Claiborne, 92 carries, averaging 6.7 yards per carry. But as a whole, Wake Forest is pretty banged up, TJ. Their whole team is banged up.
Yeah.
Their defense has been pretty solid pretty much all year. The offense is just very hit or miss.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, we said this about Stanford too. Now, I will say this: I think they're better than Stanford. I certainly think they're better than Stanford without Stanford having their starting quarterback and starting running back. But they're not great, man.
No,
They're just not.
they're not a good team.
They're
You
not a
don't beat
great team.
Kennesaw State by 1 point.
Yeah, there's a reason that they are like a double-digit dog coming into Tallahassee, even though Florida State has lost the last 4 games. I mean, you should beat this team. Yeah, there's no doubt. I will say their defense, like defensively, they did a good job of holding SMU down. And Kevin Jennings can move a little bit. He looks off, although you kind of wonder about where Tommy's at. Mike said today that it's trending positively towards Tommy, but did you see on Monday where he said it was like he's day by day? And boy, that scares me. If Tommy couldn't go, okay, so how much? So I know a lot of people are, when I posted that, like, oh boy, about Tommy being potentially hurt, people were like, oh, I don't care. I want to see what Sperry has for the future anyway. I don't mean that. If Kevin Sperry wants to stick around for next year, I have no problems with it. I don't want to see anybody of these guys for the future. Like anybody that's not playing yet. Like obviously I want Croma and Danzy and different guys to come back. But I want a new regime. To me, it doesn't matter what Sperry looks like for the future because the new coach is going to pick his quarterback one way or the other. So I don't want Tommy to not play in this game because I can't imagine they figure out a way to win without him.
Yeah, no, and I think to your point, in today's college football landscape, there's a very good chance that if you bring in a new coach who is a head coach or a coordinator, specifically an offensive coordinator from a big boy school, which is what we need, they're going to bring their quarterback with them, I would think. And even if not, they're going to know what kind of quarterback they want. I would love to get a healthy Tommy back for one more year, and we can call it a gap year, so to speak, just so we're not completely humiliated again and miss another bowl game. Because I think a healthy Tommy is a very good college quarterback. He's not going to be playing on Sundays in the backfield. Like it's just not going to happen. But when it comes to college, he is very good when he's fully healthy. He hasn't been healthy since the Alabama game, and that's just unfortunate. And that's not the reason that we've lost 4 straight games. So by no means am I trying to make excuses, but yeah, there's very few people on this roster. I'll say this: I can think of maybe 6 or 7 people who would have eligibility next year, who I would be upset if I heard they hit the transfer portal, and that's of 100+ man football team. That is pathetic for Florida State.
Yeah, I mean they just haven't recruited well enough. I mean there might be more guys on the roster too that could be developed a little bit better. I've been pretty let down with not only the recruiting but also the development, which is a good reason that you should move on as well, right? There's a million of them. So on Wake, I really struggle to see Wake matching up well in the trenches. Florida State's offensive line has probably been the second best in the ACC this year. I mean, just graded out, it has been the second best. Now there's a pretty good gap between Miami's and FSU's. So that's not like insanely impressive because Clemson's has been bad and others have been really bad too. The offensive line has been really good. And I don't know. I mean, they'll double team Jackson on the other side. But I mean, if there was ever a game that the Desir twins or James Williams or McCray or any of these guys were going to get off and have a good game, it would be this one. They should be able to do kind of what they want against Wake. What worries me a little bit is we play so soft on defense at times that we give up a lot underneath. And you mentioned Tommy being banged up. If the offense isn't explosive, can we score enough in critical moments? The offense is fine. I mean, the offense had 400 yards in the last game. We scored 13 points. Now 80 of that came on that last drive. But the offense wasn't terrible by any means from a down-to-down perspective. They just couldn't finish. Missed field goal, turnover on downs, the play down to the 1 yard line, turnover. Like there was a lot in the game that, they limited themselves. But they for some reason the offense this week, which it's still the number 2 offense in the country, which is kind of crazy.
Yards per game,
3 and 4. They're going to have a lot of yards. It's just can they execute? They're not very good in the red zone. I don't know what their red zone percentage is. I take a lot of that, my mind out of that, but it's taken them a lot of plays to be able to get some of that stuff. Like you remember the jump pass against Virginia on 4th down and just different things that they've had to kind of get creative with because they capitalize on Tommy being able to be dynamic and their playmakers being able to be dynamic in open space. A little bit different when you have to be precise down in the red zone. And so I do think that is, I do think that's kind of been an issue. What if Sperry comes in and just lights it up? See Planet 9. I mean, yeah, I'll be happy. I mean, I won't hate that, but I mean, I don't know that he gives you enough chance to win. I mean, I do want to win the game. I'm not at the point where I'm cheering against FSU yet. Now we're down 10 in the 4th quarter. We look like dog crap. I might just say like, let's do it and try and rip the Band-Aid off this week because we couldn't do it 2 weeks ago. But I'm not at the point where I'm cheering. So if Sperry comes in and plays great, like awesome. I want to win the game on Saturday. I know that is crazy to even have to say at this point, but like I do want to win.
Yeah, no, because if my dumbass is going to be up till 11 o'clock at night watching this team, I want to win. The last thing I want is for us to lose, and I want us to win every single game. But it's almost like a win-win situation to where if we win, awesome, I can at least feel somewhat good about my college team this week. But if we lose, I don't care. Like apathy has fully set in for me as a Florida State fan until we see some change. And that I don't think I could ever go back. Even if Florida State were to run the table, win every single game the rest of the way by 20 plus points, I'm just not getting baited back into that. To a lesser extent, it's almost like Mark Richt at Georgia, right? To where he was consistently very, very good until the fan base finally said enough is enough. I'm at that point where enough is enough. No matter what happens the rest of the season, now obviously I'd be changing my tune if we went out and then he goes out and beats Bama in Tuscaloosa next year to start the season. I'll start lying to myself again. But if I'm being honest with myself, it is what it is. I do want us to win, but a loss would not be. I would just shut the TV off and be like, okay, no worries. Let me go watch some reruns of Jeopardy.
Dude, you're not doing that at 10:30 at night. You're going to bed. We know how old you are. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I don't want to lose the game. A loss is probably what's best for Florida State in the long term. So, I mean, you can unfortunately say it like that, and that's a sad state to be in with what this program once was, a once proud program. A lot of proud fans still. We still show up and do our part, but they're running it into the ground week by week, unfortunately.
We used to be a proper program, teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Question here. This is a good one. When are we ever going to have a quarterback that like can come in and this is for my buddy Josh, Deck 9 the Rots. Pitt brings in a true freshman quarterback, lights us up. Stanford brings in a quarterback. We can't stop him. When's that going to be our turn? Like, when are we ever going to do that? Because we put in the backup any year and it's like, this ain't good. It did, like Jordan, the year Jordan went out 23, backup came in, stunk. DJ stunk at the beginning of last year, put the backups in, they're terrible. If Sperry had to come in this week, maybe this is the week where it happens. Maybe this is the week where we get a quarterback that just absolutely takes people by storm. I'm not betting on it, but it would be nice. So,
I don't know. He wasn't a backup, but the last time we had a quarterback really come out of the gate and was just phenomenal was that Ole Miss game when DeAndre Francois made his debut. And then obviously we all remember what happened. That was 2016, 2017. We all know what happened at the Georgia Dome or the Mercedes-Benz Superdome back then. But yeah, like we've recruited well if you just look strictly at rankings.
We just can't develop worth a damn. Other than that, we're great.
Yeah, we just have not had a quarterback come in. Obviously Jameis was a massive hit. Francois was a hit until the injury, and then I think mentally he just wasn't all there to put things back together. But we haven't really had anybody since then, which is wild to think for Florida State University.
So let's do a few picks on the Sleeper app. We'll predict this game in a minute. We'll talk about some other games here in a few as well. There's not any FSU picks on the Sleeper app yet. So we're going to do these for the cocktail party. We're going to have fun somewhere else. Gunnar Stockton, 224.5 passing yards, more or less.
224 or more.
I'll go more as well. Lagway is a yard under that. 223 passing yards, more or less.
I'll say less because I think they're going to want to run the ball.
I'm going to go less as well, but he needs to go over if they're going to win, which I don't think they do. Zachariah Branch, explosive wide receiver for Georgia, 55.5 passing yards.
I'll say more just because that could be one catch, literally.
I'll go more on him as well. We are hopefully we can get off of the same exact thing. Oh, I forgot to ask Harlan all of his, but Harlan, write yours down while we're doing this, dude. By the way, Harlan's winning the weekly. Harlan's got 19 right, you got 17, and I'm at 16. So I suck at this. But so yeah, if I'm picking, just
take within 3. Yeah,
I'm embarrassing. JD Boss, 62.5 rushing yards. Florida's leading running back.
I just said I think they want to run the ball, so I will take more on that one.
Georgia's got a good run defense, and they haven't let anybody run on them yet this year. I think they're going to feed the heck out of ball, but I am still going to go less on this one. Hayden Hansen, Florida tight end, 23.5 receiving yards.
I'll say less because tight ends are just so like you're literally flipping a coin, but I'll say less.
I'm going to go more on this one. They have featured him a lot this year, and I think they like to dump it off to him when things are kind of breaking down around DJ. So I'll go the opposite there. Last one, Gunnar Stockton, 34.5 rushing yards, more or less.
I'll say less.
I will go more here. Although sack yardage does worry me a little bit, he is fairly mobile, and I can see him escaping a few things. He's more athletic than you would think.
If it was a NFL stat keeping, I would say more. But to your point, the sacks, like literally 2 sacks could knock that out entirely.
Use the Sleeper app. You guys have like 2 days left to get a free $20 entry on the Sleeper app by using our code DFNS. If you've been waiting all month and not listening to me, go get that done after the show. Richie, let's pick some games and then let's talk a little bit more about Wake Forest and let's get out of here. Here's one that's interesting for FSU fans. Miami at SMU.
I'm going to say SMU, a bounce back win. I think what's the spread on this one?
Sorry, I knew you'd ask that. 11.5.
It's 11.5. I'm definitely taking SMU on the spread. But I might sprinkle some on the money line for the Mustangs.
I will take Miami to win, SMU to cover. I think it's closer than 11.5, but I do think they win. Georgia 7.5 against Florida.
I think Georgia covers that pretty easily, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they win by 14. USC is a 6.5 point favorite in Lincoln, Nebraska.
USC.
I have no confidence in Nebraska. I don't really have a lot of confidence in USC either, but I do think they win by a touchdown or more. So I will agree with you again. I guess we're going to agree on everything here today. Tennessee's a 3.5 point favorite at home against Oklahoma.
I think Oklahoma gets back on track. They go into Knoxville and get the win.
Oh, I think you're crazy. I think Tennessee covers by like 14. I think they win big. Utah is am I reading this right? 9.5 point favorite against a ranked undefeated or a 1-loss Cincinnati team undefeated in the Big 12.
And that's at Utah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me Utah.
I think Cincinnati covers, Utah wins. And then last one. If I would have told you that Vandy and Texas were playing this week and one of them was a top 10 team, I don't think that would have shocked you. If I would have told you that Vandy was the top 10 team as a 2.5 point underdog, who would you take?
Where's this one at Vandy?
Austin.
In Austin, give me Texas. If this game were in Nashville, I would probably take Vandy money line. But being in Austin, I have to go with Texas on this one.
My head says Texas, my heart says Vandy. So go Commodores. That's my backup team for this year. I hate to pick out an SEC team for my backup team, but this is what Mike Norvell's made me do. All right. Final thoughts on Florida State and Wake Forest, and then we'll predict it. I'll get a Harlan prediction here at some point too. Harlan, if you want to text me, and then what do you think, Richie? How well do you expect them to come out and play like fired up, inspired? Well, I mean, it is a night game in Doak. It'll be mostly sold out. It won't be all the way sold out. I'd be shocked, but it will be homecoming. There will be a lot of excitement. It's still a night game. It's your best chance to get a win. Do you think they can rally the troops?
You better not get off to a slow start.
Yeah.
We've seen this team quit multiple weeks in a row. And that's not hyperbole. That's just the fact. Like, that's eyes watching film. I have no confidence in this staff because I don't think this team has any confidence in this staff. And that's kind of where my head's at. I think Wake Forest wins it with a walk-off 27-24. And unfortunately, Sunday, TJ, we're going to have to come back here again and have the same conversation that we're probably going to have for the next several weeks. Give me Wake Forest.
Harlan's got Wake as well, 27-20. We are downers tonight. I think Florida State does play fairly well. I think the team does play fired up, and I think if Tommy is out there, his effort will be enough. I don't think Wake can keep us under 27 points, and I do think our defense can keep them fairly low under that. So I think it's like 27-20 Florida State. We don't cover the spread, so I'll take Harlan's score as well. Florida State wins 27-20, but man, I don't feel very confident about it. And you're right. Like if they don't get off to a good start and Wake goes up like 14-3 or something, or even 17-7, that I do expect them to quit. And that sucks to say, but go out and prove me wrong, man. I don't know what else to say at this point with this team after losing to Stanford. I mean, that's the thing, man. Like Stanford was the one where if you went out there and you won that thing by 20, like you were supposed to as an 18.5 point favorite, if you went out and took care of business there, I think you look at the rest of the schedule and say, okay, well, they can get back on the right track. After losing to Stanford, Wake is a better team than Stanford. They would be favored on a neutral field. And so if you could, especially against their backup quarterback, running back, cornerback, and offensive line guys that were out. So if you can't beat Stanford, then yeah, Wake can absolutely come in and beat you. I don't think they will. I do think Florida State will win this game, but my gosh, it's going to get toxic afterwards if they don't. So best of luck afterwards for the media folks and the staff and everybody else. Well, not the staff. They're making millions of dollars, so I don't really care about that. Exactly. But best of luck if you have to be part of this. Yeah, I wonder about the buy-in. I wonder how much they care about that guy saying respond 8,000 times. But we'll see. We'll see if they care or not. Maybe they're playing for, their chances in the NFL or their chances for another NIL contract somewhere else or just whatever. You're like reaching for straws at this point with what their motivations truly are. Just very quickly, Harlan, we can even leave it on this screen. A quick shout out to Tallahassee Ford. They are doing a tailgate in lot 14. If you want to go by and see them, tell them you saw about it on the Double Fries No Slaw tailgate and our podcast. And then they are part of the block party in the East Town Get Down. If you're not doing the candy thing on Friday night, go down and see our friends at Tallahassee Ford. Grab a beer on me. So they give them out for free anyway. I just like to say it's on me. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate Sleeper for their support. That's all I got, Richie. Any shout outs or anything before we go?
Let me shout out a local radio station. If you're in Orlando, I'm sure you know of it. It's XL 1067. The only reason I'm shouting them out is because I won tickets to see the Jonas Brothers like a month ago, and my wife and I went Monday. Obviously not my cup of tea, but the wife had an amazing time. And I'll be honest, they did put on a really good show. So shout out the radio station and shout out the Jonas Brothers because they were actually really good. I have to admit.
I don't think I have any shout outs any at all. Shout out all the fans that are pissed off. Shout out you guys for showing up even when you're mad. That's all I got for tonight.
Yeah, if you tuned in, shout out to you for sure.
Yeah. Y'all are the real MVPs. We'll be back Saturday. I might go live win or loss after this one. So we'll see how things go. But Saturday night, I'm sure we'll all be in a good mood at 10:30, 11 o'clock. And so tune in and you can watch me rant again if Florida State doesn't get it done. If they do get it done, then we will really be in a good mood. So appreciate you guys as always. We'll talk to you soon. Go Noles.